The hierarchy in the DC universe has changed. I mean, for real though, it really actually has. Let's talk about it. Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Today podcast. I'm your host, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your Nerd Today, Carlos Rodriguez. How are you? Sorry, a little frog was trying to escape my throat. Swallowed it back down, punched him in his face. That was a really random tangent. But as you saw at the beginning of the video, honest to God, the hierarchy of the DC universe actually has changed, surprisingly enough. And kind of partially due to The Rock, kind of not. We're going to get into that one moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to the new month. So our November Patreon. So you can support me over at patreon.com/nerdtoday. Like the fine folks over here, like hopefully awesome. Matt and Maggie, love you guys so much. They are awesome. Check out their Going Back to Smallville podcast. Jeff Felcher, the homie. Seriously, dude, can you just like text me like when you hear this and be like, yo, PS4? I'm like, I got you. Susan, sister from another mister. Love them to death. And they just bought me acting lessons. So maybe you're going to hear some more VO work from me. Who knows? Rest Pass, my partner in crime over at Apron Work Podcast. My wrestling podcast. You should check us out. apronworkpodcast.com for the audio. And then our YouTube is linked down below. And Brandon, who I mentioned a bunch. He was actually in our last episode, our Halloween Spectacular, about the movies I recommend you watch that are horror-based. But that is a different episode. Today, we are kicking it off. As I mentioned, the hierarchy of the DC universe has changed. Again, very facetious. That sounds hilarious. That's been used, the memed a bunch because of The Rock saying it for Black Adam. But we're going to go a little light spoilers for Black Adam. And it seems like a lot of the stuff that's happened in DC, no confirmation, obviously, has some effects in the greater entertainment business. So let's start it off first. Spoilers for Black Adam. Let me get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about the actual news about the actual hierarchy. Superman's back. Rocking the S. This is Connor Kent, of course. I love Connor so much. But yeah, Superman's back as of, and physically back, like actually in the suit, everything spit curl and all, a little S curl. Henry Cavill's back as Superman. Liam Hemsworth is now The Witcher. I don't know if they're correlated, but I would assume so. Until we get official wording, I'm assuming those two things are correlated. But yeah, The Rock did his homie a solid. And Superman being one of his favorite characters. See, I love The Rock more and more as a wrestling fan, and now as just an entertainer. He really is the most electrified man in sports entertainment, or entertainment in general. You know, he brought us, he was like, listen, we can't do this without Superman. The DC universe needs Superman. So there are some things obviously that's falling apart. Obviously, we don't have Batgirl anymore, which sucks. It sucks. We have Superman, which is awesome. And then we have some good news. Will Hamada, who very controversial figure within the DC community just because of supposed treatment, alleged. I mean, I stand by Ray Fisher, but it's alleged treatment of Ray Fisher throughout Joss Whedon taking over Justice League, all that stuff. There's articles out there, you can read them. He's out as DC lead at Warner Brothers Pictures, and now after their long search and almost hiring somebody, we now have confirmation who is going to lead the film and TV division, animated everything for DC. And one of them is Peter Safran, who's a big time producer over at Warner Brothers. He's done like The Conjuring and stuff like that. He's like a big producer. And he's done most of the DC properties. And James fucking Gunn. Like, wow. James Gunn. Like, director of Slither, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, now 3, and the holiday special. The Suicide Squad, one of the best sequels DC has created. One of the best DC movies they've created in general. Peacemaker, one of the best DC media that we have. Um, yeah, James Gunn has taken over. It's crazy. He's gone from trauma movies, like starting with Romeo and Juliet, to now running DC Studios, which is the new name. And we're gonna get into that. I'll have some little articles, parts of the article that are linked down below. You can read the whole thing. But trauma to running DC, insane. But the article we're gonna read from here is from Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch over at the Hollywood Reporter. Again, links down below. It says here, some little phrases I took out of the article in general. In a stunning turn of events, filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran have been tapped to lead DC's film, TV, and animation efforts as co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios, a newly formed division at Warner Brothers that will replace DC Films. Gunn will focus on the creative side of things, while Safran will focus on the business and production side. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects respectively. The report directly to David Zaslav, who's the head now of all Warner Brothers, and work closely with Warner's film bosses, DeLuca and Pamela Abadi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, man. Sources say the deal runs 4 years and Gunn will be exclusive to DC at that time. The goal is for them not to be just producers, but truly functional executives, even as Gunn will occasionally film a movie. So, longest thing that he's always wanted to do a Superman movie. We have Henry Cavill back. The DC EU, I guess, or the DC universe is now shaping to be something amalgamous to what it seemed like Zack Snyder wanted, but like a more hopeful and better version, I guess. Not to piss off Snyder fans, I'm just saying, like, Superman can smile when we heard the John Williams score. You know what I mean? Like, come on. We're honored to be stewards of the DC characters we loved since we were children, Gunn and Safran said in the statement. We look forward to collaborating with with the most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated, multi-layered universe that still allows for individual expressions of the artists involved. Our commitment to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Harley Quinn, and the rest of the DC stable of characters is only equaled by our commitment to wonder of human possibility these characters represent. We're excited to invigorate the theatrical experience around the world, as well as we tell some of the biggest, most beautiful, and grandest stories ever told. So, that is huge. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen, all my non-binary folk out there. That is, like, just gigantic. Again, trauma to DC Studios. Insane to go from there to there. Like, I love trauma movies. They're very shocking and and very fun. But like, now we have them solely, like, this dude is just the man. He's just awesome. I can't speak more highly of James Gunn. I'm such a James Gunn fan. Like, again, I love Slither. I mean, I don't know if children watch this. I hope not. You know, he has a very funny, crude series called PG Porn. That was very, very funny, and it's not. It looks like it's going one route, and then it's not PG at all. It's very horror based, so very fun. So if you love horror and, you know, the other stuff, the corn thing I said earlier, you can probably find it somewhere online. It's very funny. It's very funny. Nathan Fillion's hilarious in it. Alan Tudyk's in it. Hilarious. But this is just like the glow up of the century. I mean, in general, being a James Gunn fan, I was shocked when he got Guardians. I mean, I love Slither. I love, you know, all his work so far, but he got Guardians of the Galaxy. That's crazy. That's a big Marvel I mean, it was at the time, you know, I don't know if anyone knew it was going to be big. Like, I love Guardians. Like, I knew of them because of reading comic books and Annihilation, Conquest, and stuff like that. But it was an unknown quantity. But as well, the trajectory that Marvel was going and Disney, like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I was just like, oh, it's probably going to be a hit. And they got James Gunn. And it's a hit. It's great. I mean, he got to really show his creative muscles. And then, you know, the little falling out thing he had because of old tweets that popped up. Old horrible jokes that he was trying to attempt, which were not funny. And he's admitted it way before they came out. But anyway, besides the point, they got to do Suicide Squad, and that was such a very focused James Gunn rated R send up to Ostrider's like Suicide Squad run in the 70s and 80s. Like that was insane. That was great. That was such a fun movie, such a great movie. If you have not seen it, please do yourself a favor and watch that movie. Also, Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn or something. I think that's a full title. That movie's awesome. You have to watch it. That movie's great. So now we have him taking the creative lead in DC Studios. There's so many things in the air, right? Biggest elephant in the room. DC has not had the greatest stories leading up to now, right? They've had bits and pieces that people love. I like Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman. I like the extended cut. I feel like it actually justifies the movie a little better. Joss Whedon's Justice League. No. Zack Snyder's Justice League. It is better. I mean, honestly, it is. There's so much there. And now with Black Adam having pieces like Black Adam being great. Again, I have not seen the movie, so I can't speak to the quality, but seeing all the reviews, everyone can agree Black Adam is the best part of the Black Adam movie. Everything else kind of falls on the wayside story-wise and everything, but we have an established character now in Black Adam. Now we have a possible confrontation down the line with Superman, who's back. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. James Gunn's always wanted to do a Superman movie. It speaks for itself, How do we... And we can now realign the universe, right? Knowing James Gunn's a fan. Having the ability to go crazy and be like, hey, guys, we're going to do another Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn project, whether that be a next Suicide Squad. Sorry for the technical hiccup. Kind of recentering now. But as I was mentioning, yes, that could be a possible another Harley Quinn movie, standalone movie. Who knows, right? To kind of realign, as I mentioned just a moment ago, what is a DC movie? What are DC comics? How can we adapt that for a theatrical audience? Now, we also have the TV situation, right? A lot of shows are ending. We have Stargirl ending. We don't know the status of Superman and Lois going into season 3, I believe this is now. We know they've replaced an actor. Is this going to be the last season? Most of the Arrowverse is kind of shutting down at this point. We do have also confirmation that there's a Green Lantern series they were working on about 3 different generations of Green Lanterns. Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz. And now that's being reworked as a Jon Stewart project, which I think is a good idea for many millennials who don't happen to read comics, but like the animated shows and stuff. Jon Stewart's your Green Lantern. And to be honest, he's better than Hal. Well, anyone's better than Hal. But ooh, spicy takes. If you like Hal, tell me down below why you like Hal. You're wrong, but yeah, Kyle Rayner's the best one. Connor Kent's the best Superboy. Come on. Now, yeah, we're gonna have like a reformation of what DC properties is, right? Almost like another reboot. Now, obviously, we have it where there are gonna be like things that are gonna be outside of it, right? So we have a sequel to Todd Phillips' Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix and now Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. That's going to be separate, obviously. We have Matt Reeves' whole Batman universe that he's crafting, with the villain storyline, and Penguin just got more actors for that series, and we're going to have the Batman 2 eventually down the line, and things like that, and that Robert Pattinson universe, which is great. Now we possibly have Ben Affleck back because he seems like he's filmed something for Aquaman. Henry Cavill's back. Like, what is this going to be? What is this Justice League going to be? What are we building to? What has James Gunn learned from his time at Marvel, being under Kevin Feige? I love Kevin Feige's line as well, stating, first time, any movie comes out with James Gunn, I'm going to be the first one there. And I truly believe him. I mean, James Gunn is a nerd, like many of us. And I think he would be there. I think he really would be supportive. He wants to see everything go up, right? He famously set notes about what we're possibly getting with the Amazing Spider-Man sequel and possible Sinister Six stuff. He's like, listen, I don't own these properties. Obviously, I work for Marvel proper. not like the Sony umbrella stuff, but you're going to do a disservice to your character if you don't do these little things. And those emails leaked, and it just shows his love for characters. And I'm sure he wants to see what a Superman movie directed by James Gunn looks like. He wants to see what Matt Reeves has cooking up for Batman 2. It's going to be interesting to see where we go. I can't wait to see what the future holds for DC proper. Let me know down below or tweet at me. If you're watching the video, there you go. There's my little Twitter handle right there. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about this news. Is the DC hierarchy truly changed? What elements from the Snyderverse would you want to see continue forward? Would that be Ray Fisher? Obviously, none of us want, God, I'm so don't even want him. I can't even think of his name. The Flash, whoever's playing the Flash. We don't want them around anymore. They are horrible. They are horrible. And I'm glad I'm somehow drawing a blank on their name. They might, but to be fair, they might go to jail for like 27 years because of kidnapping and child endangerment and all that other crap. So the justice system might be doing us a favor in getting rid of that Flash. But again, yeah, let me know down below of the video. Tweet at me if you just listen to audio. What do you think about this new hierarchy of the DC universe? And again, if you want to support me, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdtoday. Throw me a couple bucks if you have some. If not, don't worry. Still get all this stuff. That's just to help fund and get more computer parts so my stuff doesn't constantly break. That's not constantly. It's been like 2 weeks. Week and a half maybe. Since it broke last. But then, yeah, you can find me at nerd_a_day on Twitter if you want to hit me up. YouTube.com/nerdtoday. Follow, like, share, all that jazz. Anchor.fm/nerdtoday for the audio. Do the same. Love you guys. See you next time.